Hi everyone, my name is Rabbi Elisha Weiss, the Rav of Merkaz Yisrael of Marine Park here in Brooklyn. It is my pleasure to share with you D'var Torah this week as we're about to come up to the Yontiv of Shavuos. Of course, the Shabbos is Parshas Bamidbar. So I wanted to share with you a D'var Torah that relates to the end of the counting of the Omer, which will take place on Friday night, and the Yontiv of Shavuos. So we know that in the Torah surrounds the mitzvah of Sfiras HaOmer with two korbanos. The korban HaOmer brought on the second day of Pesach, which allows everyone to now eat from the new grain, what we call chadash, and the korban Shtei Alechem, which is brought on Shavuos. Now, in absence of these two korbanos, according to most Rishonim, the mitzvah of Sfira is Bizman Hazeh is the Rabbanim. Today, the mitzvah of Sfira is a rabbinic obligation because of two magic words, Zecher LeMikdash, to remember the Beis HaMikdash. The goal and purpose of counting the Omer today is one of those mitzvahs that forces us to engender in our life the remembrance of the Beis HaMikdash. In fact, the Ran at the end of Psachim points out that we don't say Shechianu on Sfiras HaOmer because it's the Rabbanan to remember the Beis HaMikdash, and we're sad that we don't have the Beis HaMikdash, and Shechianu is normally said when there's Simcha. Now, the Torah, when it introduces the mitzvah of Sfiras HaOmer, says the following pasuk. It says, Ad mimocharas haShabbos haShvius, you count up until the end of 7 weeks, Tisperu Chamishim Yom, you count 50 days, Vikravtem mincha chadasha Hashem, and you count and you give a new korban to Hashem. So the Torah calls the korban on Shavuos the new korban. In fact, Rashi points out, Hi mincha rishona shehuva min hachadash. It's the first korban of the year in the Beis HaMikdash that's brought from the new grain. So the Klei Yakar asks the following question and shares a beautiful insight into the Yontiv of Shavuos based on this idea. The Klei Yakar asks why, the obvious question, why is it called Mincha Chadasha? The second question he deals with in answering this question is, why is it that of all the Yomim Tovim in the Torah, Shavuos is the only Yontiv where the Torah does not tell us the date? And writes to Klei Yakar, a beautiful idea. He says, you want to know why it's called Mincha Chadasha, a new korban? So he says, Siman liyom matan Torah. He says, it's symbolic of the day that we received the Torah. Ki ha-Torah tzricha lios chadasha, etzel ha'adam v'chol yom, kilu hayom, kibla mehar Sinai. He says that the Torah has to be viewed as something new every day of the year. That every day when we wake up, we have to have a geschmack, we have to have this great feeling that the Torah is something new and something special that I want to embrace myself and I want to study and I want to be involved in each and every day. And that's what he says, Mashalon is kabetov referish ki yom zeh matan Torah. And that's why the Torah never says that Shavuos was the day of Matan Torah, even though we know, because we're not supposed to focus on one day of the year. Matan Torah is supposed to be every single day of the year. And that's why he says that we don't have the date. We don't have a date for Shavuos because every day, as we say in Shema, every day, Asher Anochi Mitzavacho Hayom, Kol Yom Yiyu Beinecha Kechadashim. Every day we're supposed to view the Torah as something special. So when we come to Shavuos night, the Klei Yakar is telling us that it's not, yes, we're going to commemorate the fact that on this night and in the morning of Shavuos, Hashem revealed himself in the ultimate expression of Hashras HaShechina, of Hashem's presence resting upon the Jewish people. Certainly we're going to celebrate that. But we're not supposed to have the attitude that today is the celebration and beyond today, there's no significance. It's like we commemorate the historical event and then we move on. No. What the Klei Yakar is really teaching us is that Shavuos is supposed to be a re-energizing of the battery. It's supposed to reinvigorate us in Limud Torah, in our connection to studying Torah, to observance of the Torah, and that going forward, every day should be a mincha chadasha. And that's why there's no date in the Torah for Shavuos, because every day is Shavuos, because every day has to be that date of Matan Torah. Have a good Yontiv, everyone, a good Shabbos, and I hope we're all inspired through all the experience of Shavuos, that every day, the rest of the year, up until next Shavuos, we'll be able to inspire ourselves to view the Torah and the special opportunity that Kodesh Baruch Hu has given us, Shabbat Chabanu, Mikol Amim V'Nasal Lanu as Torah, so that He chose us from all the nations that gave us the Torah, that we should embrace that privilege each minute of every day, and certainly at least every day. Good Shabbos and good Yontif.